talk about the best English speaking countries for Russians. I mean, it's a good stream where we can make a brainstorm about the best English speaking countries for Russians, because a lot of people now are leaving Russia and they are thinking where to go. I mean, even if they are maybe in other countries and they already went there, so maybe they. Hello, Lisa. Nice to see you. So maybe they are still looking to change the country. I mean, like people, a lot of people are inviting Russians from English-speaking countries like Australia and US and Europe. Hello, Joy. Nice to see you. So we can make kind of brainstorm about what are like the best or what is the best English speaking country for Russians. Sorry for the light because I mean my wife is sleeping and we have like very big window here and I don't know how to make it better. Maybe turn somehow. Okay. So we can like talk together and decide what are like the best options for Russians where to go like among English speaking countries only. Not all the countries. Okay, this way is better. Okay. I am ready. So it's better to choose live stream, live chat. Yeah, okay. Not top chat, but live chat. Okay. So, in fact, I didn't want to stream today. I wanted to sleep because I was very tired, but I was thinking a lot and I thought what I can talk about. If I talk about the quotes that I want to talk about, it will be like hard to talk about quotes, to think, to I don't know, to explain and to translate the quotes. And also, when I use that way to stream, I use the application, and people see the delay. There is a delay with the application, not like with the phone. Have you narrowed it down? Missed the first part of what you said. Yeah, I said that I wanted just to brainstorm in this stream about. Hello, Christina. You are sure are doing your homework. What homework? So I wanted just to talk to people and to brainstorm because we have like a lot of people from different countries here. I mean, different English speaking countries. And we can like talk about pros and cons about English speaking countries because in my opinion or my wish that I have that I wanted I mean I want to live in an English speaking country because I mean I learned English, my channel is in English. I mean I don't know, I feel more comfortable speaking English. I mean I think English language is very useful, especially like for my kid. Like if he will start directly talking with people in English and learning English, maybe his future, I mean, will be much better. Anyway, I mean, I will just enjoy living in a country where everybody speaks English. It would be easier for me, and especially I have like kind of a shock, you can say, cultural shock. So living in Turkey for 3 months, and like not finding people who speak English here or speak even like the language that I know. It's I mean it's like psychologically it's hard just to I don't know to use always the translator, and sometimes when people talk to you, you feel like I don't know, you can't explain yourself, and I mean it's hard. Maybe notification, you have like to turn on all notification of the channel, and that way you will see the notification of the stream. Yeah, so UK, Canada, and US, but there are also other English-speaking countries. Maybe some countries like I don't know, like some parts of India, for example, they also like speak only English. And there are maybe European countries where people speak English. There is, for example, Nigeria, they speak English, but mostly yes, people we have here, like so we can discuss those countries who are already here, we have like Canada, it's an English speaking country. People from Canada we have here, from US, from Australia, from maybe some European countries. Like we can, if we brainstorm, so we can brainstorm on only about countries that are like available here. I mean, in the stream, people who know about their country much better, because we can't. I mean, discuss Nigeria or discuss India or just discuss if we don't have someone from India or Nigeria or other countries where they speak English. And there are a lot of islands people speak English in, like you see Hong Kong. So you can write everyone, hello everyone, nice to see you in the stream. You can write where are you from, and we can start from that, discussing and comparing those countries, like all the countries we are from here. Yeah, Nigeria. I mean, yeah, we will not have people from Nigeria anyway here. But if we have them, so they are welcome to talk, and we can discuss. I mean, I would like to talk about all English-speaking countries. Like we have US, like two people already from US. I think Christina from Canada. I see the flag, and others. Australia. I don't know if Steve Smith will be today here, Steve or not. So we can, for example, like start maybe from USA, since it's like most people from USA are here. So how you see it, like for Russians? I mean, like for myself, I never visited an English-speaking country in my life. So I never lived in an English-speaking country in my life, and it's something ironic. Like I learned the language, I speak with people in English. I mean, I make videos in English. My channel is all in English, and I never like visited an English country, and even like those English countries that are not that, I mean, English, like even like let's suppose Nigeria or others who speak English. So I don't know anything. And about US, I mean, even about US, I don't know anything. I mean, US. The thing that I know for about US is from movies. So like I could have a wrong picture of the country only from movies, because I watch a lot of movies and I prefer always to watch like American movies. And I don't know. So the thing I know about US that they have a lot of immigrants. Hello, Angie. So we are talking about and hello everyone who is joining. We are comparing between English speaking countries, and now we can discuss like I mean generally I want to compare between all English speaking countries, but we will talk about the countries that are people who are here. I mean, from US and UK, Canada. For from now we have people, and you can tell Angie where are you from as well. I think from US as well. I don't remember. Anyway, and now we can discuss US and how it's. I mean, good for Russians and. I mean, tell me an idea about US, like the true US, from people who live there, from people who live there their whole life, or who are living there for a long time. So it's always. I mean, when I was learning about politics, I started learning about politics, like very deep. So the thing that I learned, like we can't take the information from like the mass media or social media, or I mean, it's hard. So I mean to find like the truth about things, but it's better to take it from people. Like this is my opinion. So like people themselves, they like, and we have like regular people in the stream. They are watching. So it's better to take that from people who regular people who live in that country. And I don't know, maybe for example, let's suppose like we are talking about how uh, how US is good for Russians. So is it maybe hard for Russians to live there? Are they welcomed there? How, I mean, I mean, okay, I know there are special places where only Russians live there, like Brighton Beach or something like that. But what if a Russian is living in US but not in Russian community in US, like only in English community? So maybe you have like some experience about that, or I mean, ideas. Have you eliminated any English-speaking countries yet? Uh, uh, what do you mean eliminated? For now, we want to like discuss one by one, and we are starting by US. And like any people, not only people who live there or lived there, just I mean, any ideas about US you have, just share them with me here, and people will also read, and we will like brainstorm and decide what are like the best English speaking countries for Russians to live in. US has a lot of immigrants, as you know, and the major cities have Russian groups usually. So this is my question. What if there is no other Russian groups? Because for me, like me and my wife, we kind of we are like kind of independent people. So when we went to Russia, we didn't join any Russian community. We just went to Mersin because we knew that like in Mersin there is less Russians and more possibility to have the residence, and that's why I mean mostly like we are like not I don't know that in touch with the Russian community. And more likely, if we will go to US, we will only be by ourselves, and we will not like choose the places where only Russians live. Maybe I mean, as she is an English teacher and her English is good, my English is good, and we want to improve in English. More likely, we will want to be in touch with like English communities, with American communities. In the US, every state has a different lowest. What is lowest? US is different depending on the state you move to. Some very expensive and other states very affordable. Yeah, but now like uh, I for now kind of I'm not like yet moving, or I'm not like discussing from the point of view of someone who is moving to the country. I'm discussing from a point of view to know, to compare between them, because maybe not right now, maybe I can't afford to move to an English country now, but in the future maybe I will move, because still I mean we are thinking for to move to, less expensive countries, and then like we will think where to direct our energy to, or where to work on. I mean, I mean, if we want to go to the US, we will maybe not go directly. We will make the green visa or a green card and wait for it, and like learn, maybe find a work there, maybe sign a contract, be sure that like our lives will be good, not like refugees detention center and no wherever what. I mean, like normal life. I mean, like let's imagine that there is no hard situation and we would just want to move to a country, and we just like normal people, we want like to work, to live, to meet people, etc. He's considering English speaking countries now. You will be fine. People are not against Russians in the US. So yeah, so this is like a good point. So are there like places where like maybe you Americans are like against Russians or something like that? It's interesting to know. Good evening, Landsapy. Welcome here. You should look at Russian population in different states. Brighton Beach will be more in the expensive side. So I said like that more likely we will not live in the Russian community in the future. Maybe, I mean, let's suppose that we are living like in only American community. Maybe still, I mean, there are like different places. Yes, yeah, maybe you say like Americans are welcome to Russian, and there is not an issue with Russians, but still there are like different area, different regions. People think differently. I watched a lot of movies. I mean, there are different kind of people there. You have, I mean, all kind of people. I don't want to like to mention exactly what kind of people, like what kind of groups you have in the US, but there are like different, and there are maybe some people who are like not that welcoming. I mean, not only to Russians but to strangers at all. I mean, from all I know it's from movies. So I never visited US, so I know like there are like places, very little villages. They don't want even to see strangers from US itself. Not, I mean, Russians. And maybe let's suppose we will live in a very little village where they are not welcoming strangers at all. I don't know. I mean, just brainstorming, just brainstorming the idea now. Arizona has a big Russian community, also Alaska and Alabama. Okay, Russians are definitely welcome here. I met a family that moved to my neighborhood in 2014. After things were going on there, they were a very nice family, accepted by everyone. Cool. The Midwest state in the US tend to be less expensive. I've heard that Russian can be sponsored by any group in the US, something like 2,000 per person. 2,000 per person per year or per month? Okay, people in the US don't care if you are Russian. I think people appreciate immigrants who can speak English regardless of where they come from. Okay, base wage in the amount the employee has to pay per hour. Okay, California, Florida aliens have many Russians. Okay, you still like talk about many Russians. I mean, let's suppose we live in a place where there are only Americans. In BS Canada, the minimum wage is $18 an hour. Okay, there is a list you can look up to see how many Russians are in each state. Oh, yeah, this is like interesting maybe, but still, I mean, I have a Russian lady lives next door to me in Cornwall, England. Cool, cool. So let me. I think most people have a generally good attitude to Russians. I don't know of any specific place that would be against Russians. I mean, some, for example, let me talk what I have in my mind. Like some stand-up comedians, they say that like there is like a very famous stand-up show. He said that when he feel danger, he use the Russian accent. I mean, is that like true that there's like a lot of Russian mafia. Like from movies, I I see that a lot of Russian mafias and people to be safe, they just act like they use like the Russian accent. They act like they are Russians. It's like from a stand-up comedy. Anyway, I am Pennsylvania. Does anybody in the chat that lives in the US know of any groups or place that will not be great for a Russian family? Yeah, maybe I'm mistaking. I'm seeing the wrong picture from the movies because I have never been there. I have I have been friends with a Russian lady for years from Moscow who lived down in the street from me. Okay. Do you feel people in countries like UK, USA, and Canada will discriminate against Russians? It's not the people, it's the Russian government. Uh, I don't know. I have never been in English countries, but maybe that could be possible in maybe some people in some areas. Maybe I never generalize. So who knows? Like I have never been there. Laredo, Texas is very friendly and also cheap to live. Okay. It's 95% Spanish. They do speak English, but also Spanish lived here longest of anywhere in the world. Okay, those who live in the states, which state, what is minimum wage? Maybe which state is more welcoming to Russians? Maybe this is the question, and maybe we have already like people watching, or they will watch this stream, or we will just brainstorm the idea, and people who are watching now and who will watch after, they will tell like what are like the best states for Russians where it's better for Russians to live and safer, etc. I think in some of the southern states, it's a very small town. It will be a little more difficult. You see, like here is like we are coming to something new I didn't know about. So I think of some states. So Angie said, southern states is very small, in very small town, it will be a little more difficult. So difficult in what? Difficult to adapt, or people there, they kind of don't like foreigners that much. This is the question. Okay, I think in PA. What is PA? Pennsylvania. It's 15 hour now. Okay, no, it's not true. Laughing. What is not true? Lindsay, Virginia, 12 hours. I believe people here would accept you. They are just very friendly and family oriented. Don't judge anyway. Anyone. Yeah, El Howry. I am not judging anyone. I know that all people who are like most people like who are watching like me are welcoming and nice, and I am not like judging. I am just thinking, like brainstorming the idea, like just want to know, to plan, to make plans for my future, and maybe people who are also following me and thinking. So maybe we'll come with good ideas for where it's better for Russians to live. Now we are talking about the US, so let's make it like a half hour about US, then another country, and another like. Generally, we can say like we can divide English countries among US, Britain, and Europe, like UK and Europe, and Australia. Like we have three of these main ones. And if we talk about US, we can also mention Canada at the same time. I don't know about Canada and if there are a lot of Russians there or not. North Dakota is being for workers in oil field. Okay, there will be generally be no problem for you either in US or UK, as a Russian main problem is getting the visa. Okay, the visa work. Okay, I think you are getting the wrong picture of US. I believe you would be happy in the US. No, I'm not getting the wrong picture. I just want to learn I mean, I'm not like insisting or something like that about my ideas. I want to learn from you today. Like, I mean, I want to learn from people who are watching. Have you narrowed down the place to go? Not yet, not yet, not yet. I mean, we want to be sure that we will be refused, and then we will just choose some place where not we have some options, but I mean, not like concrete place. Okay, in California, minimum wage. Okay, more difficult with people accepting you. No, so you mean like in northern, like northern states of US? So people, it's more difficult for people to accept me. Okay, I see now. Okay, so jobs tracked away in the little town. It's less expensive. Small town, less work, less facilities. People are good and bad everywhere. Yes, it's this is nice. Yes, people is in small towns tends to be more conservative and maybe against new people of any kind. So you see, so I mean, I watched that in movies, and you confirm that. So that's more likely true. Difficult to live on minimum wage to live. Yeah, of course. Don't like foreigners in small towns, especially like Oklahoma. So don't like foreigners in small towns, especially like Oklahoma. So you see, like Oklahoma, they don't. So when I will decide to go to US and everything will be done, I will check this stream. Maybe I don't know. Maybe after 6 months, maybe after 1 year, after I don't know, or when I will be pushed to go there anywhere. Anyway, you mean fixed income here, likely to have 100. Okay. In some small towns in Alabama, for example, I had a hard time. Some don't want outsiders. So Alabama, you see, Oklahoma, Alabama, some don't want outsiders. Had the same problem in Louisiana. You see, like some people they say like all they are welcoming, you will not have troubles, but when you kind of brainstorm the idea, people start like sharing their experience, and it's nice to know. Okay, minimum wage, a mid-size midwestern city in the US would be good. Okay, a suburb of any major city in the Midwest would be good. I say Midwest because the region tend to be more affordable. Okay, I think Ohio will be bad for you. Ohio, maybe you mean, or Ohio. Agreed. Ohio or Indiana. You see? And I don't think just accepting you as a Russian, but generally accepting outsiders. They want to keep their community unchanged. Yeah, you see? Wherever you go, so see, keep in mind both of you, meaning you and your wife, may need to work to manage for as many people here do. Of course, yeah, of course we need to work. Maybe we will have to like, because in Turkey we were pushed to go from here. We wanted to settle, we wanted to look for work, we wanted to do everything here, but we were pushed to go to, so we wanted to learn, we wanted to do everything, but I mean in the end, like we start learning about other countries again, and we start, I mean, how it's impossible to think about the work when you are not settled. You can no longer enter the States walking from Mexico. You see? I mean, I am not thinking about entering the state from Mexico and being in detention center. No, I am. That's why I'm thinking in the future, like when if we will have like I don't know, green card or buy a visa, or we will have a work there. We will find a work. We will sign the contract and go directly to work there. That's another thing, because we have like experience with Dubai. We didn't sign the work, we didn't sign any paper, and we went to Dubai, and in the end, like happened what happened to us in Dubai. I mean, we almost were homeless. because we didn't make sure. I didn't make sure. I mean, should buy my blame only myself. I didn't make sure that I will work 100% there, and I didn't sign the contract before. What U.S. cities have the most Russians? New York ranks first in the number of Russian-speaking Americans living in their states. New York, okay, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, on the outskirts of New York. Okay, in the U.S., small towns are just as friendly, sometimes more friendly community than life in bigger cities. I moved about a lot with no problems being a newcomer. From internet, okay, most town closer, bigger city will be fine for you. Okay, I have nothing nice to say about Florida. Not me, like George Rames. So I am learning from you. When you go to some country, make sure you don't live in so-called 15-minute city, because people there will be restricted from doing some activities. 15 minutes city. It's interesting. What is that? Minneapolis, Minnesota has Russian churches, and Ukraine and Belarusian also stores. Cool. Can't you go to France as an Algerian? France, I can, but I don't know, want to go there. I mean, it's an European country. It would be expensive for us, and for now we are not thinking. I mean, to move yet. We are just discussing now, brainstorming the English-speaking countries that are like good for Russians, or maybe other Russians will watch this stream and it will be useful for them, or people here like will share this information. We are all outsiders in North America unless we are native. Cool. So even like sometimes outsiders in North America unless we are native. Yeah. I understand. I'm in Michigan, which is considered a Midwestern state, and I think it will be good as well. Okay, Michigan was just information. Yeah, thank you, Howry, for the information. Jod's wife, 116 Cherokee. I don't know why I didn't get it. US, pick your weather too. US, pick your weather too. My weather. I didn't get it. Canada or Australia immigration to US takes a long time. Yeah, I know. May try the US visa lottery. I think it's open for anyone, but chances are small. Yeah. And it's only in once a year, I think, in November or something like that. I missed that November. I will try to not miss it. Next time, if we will be settled. I mean, how did you measure that, George? Okay. Not for me. My family come from Poland to UK, where I was born. Then, after 9 years, we moved to Canada. Oh, cool. So why you moved to Canada? Why Canada is better for immigrants? So we can also talk about this, because I think we have enough information about the US already. Minnesota, okay, Wisdom, South Wisconsin, South and North Dakota would be good too, okay. I am originally from the Detroit Barbs, also raised my daughter there. What part of the Mitten are you in? Iowa. I know about Utah also, because we had like in Russia Mormons walking and like promoting the religion, and they are from Utah. So I don't know if Utah is good for Russians if they are not Mormons. I mean, I don't know about like the details. So I met those guys and I talked with them. So they were like very young, good guys, missionaries. Her great grandmother was on a reservoir. Okay, America are mixed bag of colors and nationalities in every neighborhood. Cool. Yeah, and every neighborhood. So we have to choose the right neighborhood. Many different kind of weather in US. So pick what lifestyle you want. Okay, main thing is crime. Okay, so where are like the best places in US like with less crimes? I mean, yeah. So you Candy Kane talking about crimes, but I mean, I also watched a lot of movies about crimes in US, and some people they even maybe afraid to go to US because like those movies, like they think that crimes are everywhere. Especially usually they saw New York that is like very criminal, and some I like before maybe now I'm like much older or how to say in the age, so I don't think like I was thinking before, but before when I was watching a lot of American movies I thought like it's like so dangerous to walk in New York, and it's like everyone have a gun and can shoot you or something like that. I mean, that's how what I was thinking, like from the movies. That's always take a crime wherever step. Okay, are you serious about having nothing nice to say about okay, Jod, go and move to where you can find the work first. Find a translator job online in UK or US, and they will help you move there. Hopefully, yeah, this is a good advice. And so I will think like to find a work because I have to settle. We will go to some, I don't know, country now just to spend a few months there, and during that time, if we settle at least for 6 months, we can like think about applying for works, choosing the country, etc. Nothing personal. Okay, my son is in law is Igor. Does that help? I didn't get it. Currently, hot summer. My dad got a job in a gold mine in North Ontario. Wages better than UK. He wanted it. So we can also compare between UK and US. What is like better for immigrants? So there is like uh, someone like me or other Russians who are watching or are thinking to move. So they also learned English and they wanted to move to an English speaking country. So what is better for them, UK or US? Because different. Like maybe in Russia, from what I know, they say like in UK people are kind of more polite, more polite. That's what they say. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, that's maybe it could be like a stereotype. I speak French, yes. So Canada, yeah, Canada, it will be good. When we will settle in the country, maybe we just go to uh, maybe to Canada. We will start applying for work. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I know French, but it doesn't mean that I will be sure in Canada. Let's see. Okay, less crime and US used the same sentence. Okay. Speaking French will give you a chance to live in Quebec. A lot of Haitians there. Cool. The most important that I will find a work for sure and sign the contract, and only then I will go. That I had a bad experience about like being promised of a work and then didn't find it. Okay, as outsider, I'd say UK is better than US. What do you mean by outsider? I mean, outsider. You said like the word outsider many times. I I will appreciate if you like define what is outsider. I can't look to the. I'm like busy. And more choice. So US more choice. UK no guns, and also more polite. You mean how I think or how like reality? Would you settle in Georgia? Is the only place they give you a year. Not for sure. I mean, there are places where you can like buy visa for 50 bucks and stay 6 months there. I mean, it's. I mean, Georgia is the only place where Russians can live, and it's not on the only one. I mean, If I already like, you can watch other streams where I like showed all the countries where Russians are accepted, and there are a lot of them. I mean, like most of, for example, Latin American countries, they accept Russians for 90 days, like without visa, for 90 days, yes, and some countries for 6 months, etc. In Minneapolis, my neighborhood was a Russian physician. My other neighbor was German. Okay, who married American. Another is a black Muslim family from Vietnamese. Okay. In the US, you have more options since the country is so much better, also cheaper area than the UK. Okay, cheaper area. This is also interesting. Okay, had more than one good friend in Dryden. Okay, I am from neither of those countries. Where are you from? Kiwi country. Had a girlfriend from Pleasant Ridge. What I see from outside those countries. Okay, I would definitely search the jobs that would sponsor a visa and that will narrow down where you live. Yeah, of course, the country is so much bigger, not better. Okay, Minnesota, suburbs of Minneapolis, St. Paul, cold winter weather, very immigrant friendly. Okay, Minnesota. Ro- Rogers Road goes a long way. Definitely check out Canada though. Easier to get into the Canada is easier to get in. So it's good information I didn't know. Yeah, the US usually like people play lottery, and maybe it's much harder because the US has a lot of immigrants and a lot of people want to US. It's like the US is like maybe a dream for to go for most immigrants, like 90% maybe. The US is more ethically German than English, even though we will here speak English. Yeah, some people, of course, like, I mean, for example, let's say Russians, some Russians who learn English. So for them, like when they learn English, mostly they learn British English. And for some Russians who learn English, I don't know about other people in other countries, but for some Russian who learn English, they understand the British English much better than the English, the American English. I myself, I understand the American English because I was in touch with a lot of Americans and I watched a lot of American movies. So maybe that's why. And it's easy when sometimes even my wife, she's so good in English, but when I show her some videos in American English, and she kind of don't understand them, but I understand. I would say Minneapolis, but Minnesota. Okay. There's a government project called Service Canada who do a lot for newcomers to resettle here in many aspects, financially, accommodation, employment. Okay, it will be good if you share the name of the program. So I will just read it. Oklahoma in 70s. My nephew moved from UK to Vancouver, Canada, and loves in the quality of life great there. UK, Vancouver. From UK, he moved to Vancouver in Canada. Okay, so I see like a lot of people from UK moved to Canada, and maybe I would like to know the reason behind that. Maybe is there any reason behind that? Because while brainstorming this idea, we can understand why they moved. Like what the issue? Why UK people are moving to Canada? Trust us, Minneapolis. Okay. I said, as outsider mean I am from neither UK or US, but I am telling you my opinion from what I see. Visa media is either of those two countries. So outsiders. That means not British and not American. This is what. But it seems like I don't know. From what I know, like an outsider, it's like a kind of bad word to use for people. I mean, I'm not sure about that. I mean. You aren't kidding. Okay, Vancouver is beautiful but expensive. East Coast may be better. Okay, East Coast. press the like button. Yes, press the like button, please. Let this video go viral. Let people compare and learn about the English-speaking countries, and especially about US. For now, we talked like too much about US. The program is called Service Canada. Service Canada. So we are talking about Canada and US at the same time. And like from what I see, people mostly like they are calling immigrants to US or Canada. I don't know if like most people are watching from US and Canada. This is the reason, or what is the reason why? Like in UK, maybe it's more hard for immigrants. I don't know. Spent 10 years at Twist Drill Corner in Richest and take his. I would get an immigration lawyer and submit all your questions to them. You will eventually get a position as you speak 2 or 3 languages and could be a translator like your last position. Yeah, I hope to find like not that expensive lawyer, immigration lawyer. I don't know. I will look. Maybe some of them give free consultations, because usually they work like this. They give free consultation and then they tell you what they are paid for. Spent my honeymoon in Toronto and Niagara Falls. Oh, Toronto. Recently I watched a movie about Toronto. Carmen from US says Cincinnati, Ohio, Midwest. Service Canada, Service Program Service Canada. Okay, Service Canada. So people can look for it. So I will try to remember it. Service Canada. Canada has nickname Land of Plenty. Land of Plenty. Cool. He moved from the UK to Canada for the snowboarding. For snowboarding. So there is no issue in UK. So why? Like Christina also, she said like that her family or something like that. Maybe I'm not. I can't remember everyone here, but I mean, you said that, Christina, that your family moved to Canada as well, or your friends or something like that. So what is the reason? The reason why they moved to Canada from UK? What's wrong with UK? Canada has a lot of open land, not as much crimes compared to some areas, okay, of US. Pretty multicultural and accepting. Okay. Welcome, Jesse Trey from US. So we're discussing US. Is it that good for immigrants, for Russians, or where are like the best places in US? UK is much smaller, so more opportunities in Canada and the US. This is the reason. So we are coming to the conclusion that in UK it's smaller and it has less opportunities. So this is like why people prefer Canada and US. I mean, from what we conclude here. I mean, I don't know. 10% of Minnesota is immigrant of all kinds. Okay, Carmen, do you have a link to US regulations for sponsoring a Russian? Yeah, it would be good to share such link. So it will be found here in the stream, or you can share it in the comments of the video when it will be done. People go to Canada, Australia, and New Zealand mostly because it was easier to get residency. Once residency, then easy to travel the world to larger countries like UK, US, I think. Okay. So from what I understand, like for immigrants, Canada is the best choice. From my understanding now. But US is also good, but UK is at the third place. So, but it will be good to create a pool in the community where better to move, like US, Canada, or UK, or Australia. Okay, we will come to that. A Russian YouTuber, my English word, asking for asylum in US. He crossed border and spent 2 months in the detention center. He got sponsorship, so he's living with in Houston. So he's living in Houston. It's interesting. Is it good Houston? Are there a lot of Russians there in Houston? Is it like welcoming place for Russians? And what if there is no Russian community? I mean, will it be easy to a Russian to live there or any immigrant? The tunnel under the falls on the Canadian side is amazing. Okay. Was born in Canada but lived in the US since he was a baby. He served in the Marine Corps and only got his American citizenship 4 years ago. Oh, cool. Canada from coast to coast. There are many Russians community in the US. Russian communities in the US, from what I know, like Brighton Beach, it's the most popular place, I think, in New York. Ontario, George, I've never been. Comparing UK and to US is like comparing Georgia to Russia in size. Ah, I see. It's such little. I expected the UK to be bigger. I don't know. I'd go to Canada personally. Canada, okay, you vote for Canada. Even like, so I am outsider, even being outsider. So we are called outsiders. I mean, usually like outsiders, it's not like that nice to call people outsiders. I mean, I don't know. Usually in movies they call like that that we like the especially in the schools and in the university they call with outsiders. I think from what I remember, those people who are not that I mean welcome in the community of students or something like that. I'm not sure about the word. Anyway, how hard it is to get into Australia? Can we trade Russell for you? We trade Russell for you? Russell from Australia? Russian Russia? I didn't understand. How? What do you mean? Can trade Russia for you? Do not overanalyze. USA has immense opportunity for all people who are eager and not afraid of working hard. Not real problems for Russians. Just work, enjoy, feed, be kind. It's cool. Okay, I think in the Seattle, Washington area there are 5,000 plus Russians. Oh, US has criminal statistics for every city. Okay, I haven't heard of any Russian being arrested in Canada. Cool, that's nice. Just be yourself, work, all will be okay. Yeah, I mean, I am okay. I'm just trying to brainstorm the idea. I live across from Seattle, 25 minutes, very ferry ride. Ask my English word. He went to Houston, Texas because his sponsor was there. Yeah, I can ask him. Okay. Australia has new government, so maybe better now. Last government disliked non-Australians. They were even deporting New Zealand residents. Oh, even that. I mean, but I heard recently that they are like not welcoming Russian as well, and the Russians are running from there to New Zealand. So Australia, maybe I mean, it could be good, but they are strict. Maybe more Russians are going there. They are strict with Russians now, from what I heard. I didn't say why family moved to Canada from UK. Father got better paying job in gold mine in North Ontario. Oh, so because of the job, more open spaces, less crowded. Less crowded, it's nice. I don't like crowded places as well. More opportunities, less expensive, better wages. Okay. Compared to US and Canada, UK is teeny and are the other European countries. As are other. Okay. UK is small, only 10 hours drive by car from top to bottom of the country. Wow, it's that little. Here we go. USA is okay for Russians. Okay. USA is okay. There are 11 US states that are bigger than the UK. How UK is small. I didn't expect that. I mean, okay, this life is really beneficial for other Russians looking to immigrate. Yeah, for sure. No Russians run to New Zealand. No Russian run to New Zealand. I don't know. I've been told that recently by someone from Australia. Okay, since Russell is an Aussie who sold out, so maybe he can trade nationalities. It's satire. Oh, I'm not good at satires when I'm brainstorming. Maybe. You mean Russell from Russia, the famous YouTuber? Like not famous YouTuber, but he's Australian and he's living in Russia. That guy I know. Minnesota has 10,000 lakes. Oh, in the cities in Canada, Toronto may be crowded. Government try to relocate people to Quebec or Western Canada. Alberta. Good wages in Alberta, okay. UK is small but very diverse in geology. Cool. Is Asia they want people to teach English? Can your wife do that? It's a good idea. It's very amazing idea, and I will also think about that. I mean, she can teach English. She was an English teacher in a private school before. Then, when she gave birth and she stopped, and she started teaching only Korean because they didn't pay her well in the private school in Russia. So by teaching Korean, she earned way much more. And maybe if Asian countries they pay really well, why not? I think we should be nice. Two Russians drove a boat to Alaska from Russia just several months ago, and they are awaiting political judgment and are free in Tacoma, Washington. Yeah, maybe those two Russians are, I mean, men and without kids. It's easier for them, maybe, if they can spend some time in detention center. I mean, I don't want that for my family and my kid. Apply to government UK for work permit. Yeah, I will do that when I'll be settled somewhere, because now we need that just to run from Turkey maybe to anywhere for some time. Is a travel with Russia? Is he leaving Russia? Ah, he's leaving Russia. Travel with Russia. Leaving Russia. He was so excited about Russia, and I don't know. It's like a surprise. I don't think he will leave. Anyone can apply for asylum. Normally, however, it's a person who consider themselves at risk of serious harm of their country of origin. Yeah, or who is compelled to leave their country in search of safety in another country. Okay. If we talk like this about government with my wife, so in Russia we will not be that welcomed. If you speak French and English, that is positive for Canada. Okay, many Ukrainians in Canada, probably Russians and Poles as well. Good. Hello, Jean. Language teachers always an asset. Day schools or night school. Cool. Before COVID, I wanted to visit Australia, but now it's doubtful. I know, I heard about that. A lot of things. Go to New Caledonia. They speak French, don't need a roof. It's summer all year. Cool. Oh, I barely didn't miss any comment. That never happened to me. Oh, just think if you and your family come to Seattle, Washington, we can have a real Russian feast to celebrate your freedom. It's nice. Yeah, I'm sure I'd be very welcome, and then they will find a lot of supporters and a lot of people who will guide me and show me things. I don't know. I hope so. We will make it. So we talked about Canada and UK. So our conclusion is that UK is smaller, doesn't have that much opportunities. Canada has like more opportunities, and what else? And US it's safe for Russians, so there's nothing to worry about. with all your different language skills, you should easily find a work. Okay, and a new country to welcome you. I would employ you if I needed a translator. Oh, cool. Thank you. So I appreciate that. I mean, my confidence in English rised. So please like this stream, share this stream to people. So maybe people who are willing to move to an English country, it will be useful for them, not only Russians. I mean, all people or people from around the world, because I mean, people are not only in Russia and Ukraine having troubles. Also, there are other countries where people maybe suffer from political situation, from the level of life, the finance they have in the country, and a lot of crazy things is going on in the world. Not sure, Lisa. It seems struggling to go anywhere international. Okay, Canada is only about an hour drive from Seattle. Okay, but Canada is colder, I think. Cincinnati, Ohio. So I heard a lot about Ohio, USA. So if someone is an immigrant or Russian want to go to, so check about Ohio and Service Canada, the program of Service Canada as well. Okay, has German heritage, so used to refugee people. Okay, we need to find someone who need a good translator. Yeah, if anyone needs a good translator, if you consider me a good translator, I will be there from Arabic to English, from Russian to English. I mean, I prefer to not translate documents because documents takes a lot of time and they are not like payable that much. But when translating directly, so directly, I was doing that in Russia from Arabic to Russian, from Russian to Arabic, and I was even meeting like businessmen who wanted to make a business in Russia. They had like I mean, there were plants inviting me, like big companies inviting me, and I was translating there. I have so many opportunities as translator, so it's never been difficult to find work. Yeah, cool. So NG, you can, I mean, at least contact me, tell me about all those opportunities. I will learn about them. I will decide where to go, where to find the work better. I will apply. I will send my CV everywhere I can. I will ask some question here in the UK. Okay, it would be great if you could. I check online and there are a lot of jobs going here. Okay, I will check the jobs, of course. I need a good job, like to assure that I will have like all the papers done and everything, and to be sure that I can, I mean, afford to. For example, in Dubai, they proposed to me work for $1,700, and the price of the apartment to live in was 2,000. So imagine like you get paid 1,700 and you can't even pay your apartment. I mean, it's not. It was an option. I gave some of other Russian YouTubers a head up for your past two and live streams. Thank you, Joy, very much. I've seen you commenting and sharing the information about the stream. That's very nice from you, and I hope more people will do that because I need some activity in my channel. I mean, I need to make it grow. I'm doing my best to make it valuable and useful to people. US has 50 choice, all unique. Okay. Did you have a driver license in Russia? No, I don't have a driver license. I had the driver license in Algeria and I never used it. My father never wanted to give me his car. And then I never bought a car. And I mean, the driver license Algerian one is expired and I never did a new one. And I never I ride the car when I just get the driver license in Algeria, and then I never drove. Ohio, USA also is a good sister city with Ukraine city again. Okay. You definitely need to be able to drive in the US. You see, like this is another thing. So if I would settle in some other place, if I will make it, if I will make I mean, maybe it's easier even to make the permit of the drive permit in other countries, not but easy to make it in US maybe, or maybe it's more expensive to make it in US. So maybe I have to have my driver license from other country and train and to buy a car in another country. So I didn't have an opportunity to buy a car in Russia. Maybe I will have it in other country. I hope so. Lots of work in Seattle. Okay, I searched Seattle. I have to remember this. So I will check if there is a lot of work there. It's nice. I started in the airline industry. Cool. Let's see. I'll put some free outs. Okay, the largest Arabic community in the U.S. is in Dearborn, Michigan. Look around there for a translator job. Okay, in Michigan and Seattle. Oh, I need a car. Yeah, I know it's hard without a car, but what I can do. There is always a bicycle. Yeah. Bicycle. I love bicycles, by the way. I didn't have even the opportunity to buy a bicycle for myself. I was so busy with getting the residence, with getting, I mean, oh my God. You certainly have 30 plus people if your lesson now, which is much more than you had ever a month ago. Yeah, Lisa. Because we are doing, I'm doing collaborations. I'm doing videos every day, like shorts, streams. I am doing my best. So I'm working hard. In the big cities in the US, you don't need to drive. But I have been told that in the US they don't have that good transport. I mean, in terms of buses, you have to wait for the bus 1 hour, 2 hour. I mean, it's crazy. You would have to move to a big city in US or Canada with good public transportation. Okay. April Rajan live in Seattle. Oh, Seattle. She lives there. Cool. Have had a license for 50 plus years. Yeah. Maybe only after my 40, I will have a license. I'm almost 38. It depends on the city. Yes, that's true. UK is just big enough for bicycles. Yeah, and it seems like no, there's an agenda to save the climate, etc. So, like people are kind of pushed to use less cars or move to electronic cars, or I mean, to make places where for bicycles, to ride bicycles. I heard that in Japan it's well done, that system of bicycles, and everybody can use the bicycle, and it's like so easy. For example, in Turkey, I wouldn't say that it's easy to use bicycles because there are a lot of cars here, so it could be maybe dangerous. But the same job, they have pretty good public transportation in most major cities. So I have to choose big city. Oh, 60 years old, you get the license. It's good. The sooner you get it, the better. Of course, there are frequent buses and trains. Okay. Midwest capital cities in US are best. Indianapolis, Indiana, Columbus, Ohio. Okay. From Indiana and Ohio, both are great for foreigners, no problem. Indianapolis and Louisville is okay. You could use a Uber too for a few months. Yeah, Uber. Uber maybe it's very expensive, like one ride, $100. Getting a license here is very cheap and easy compared to Europe. Oh, so US, it's easy to get the license. It's good. Seattle has a lot of public transportation, but you are limited in the shuttles or electronic scooters. Rentals may be over if you have a good job. Yeah, Uber is expensive. London will be no. It's busy and so expensive. Yeah, I don't want to an expensive country unless I will find a good work there, and I will be sure that I will be. I mean, I will live long time, etc. Uber isn't that expensive? Uber is not expensive. I don't know, like from what as I told you, I saw US only from movies. So from what I saw, it's a kind of they show that they give the taxi driver like $100, 50, 100, 60, 100, so 60, not 60, 50, 50, 60, 70, something like that. If you live in the city, the public transportation, it will be more expensive to live. If you live in the city. Okay. That's what I was saying. Mid-sized, mid-western cities would be best bet. Okay, I actually near Liverpool. Okay. Remember in southern US they have an accent. Yeah, all. An accent. Yeah. But I mean, for me, American accent is clear. Maybe there are like very special American accent that I don't know about, but mostly Americans and understand them very well. Okay, Uber cheaper than taxi. Uber use only credit cards. They don't accept cash or what? The Midwest would feel most familiar to you as far as weather goes too. Okay, our family has a car, so I don't know prices. Avoid high crime US cities: Portland, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Baltimore. All bad high costs and crime in all those cities. Okay. Car payment, insurance, registration, gas, and maintenance add up. Yeah. Maybe nowadays it's expensive to have a car. Yeah. So we compared between US and Canada and Great Britain, but we didn't say anything about Australia. Some of you mentioned New Zealand. So what do you know about Australia and New Zealand? It would be interesting. Like I have seen some subscribers from New Zealand here. It would be nice to know how is the situation of like immigrants. What if a Russian will go to New Zealand or to Australia? One Australian guy said that Australia, it's hard to get to go there for Russians. Someone else now today said that it's everything is okay in Australia. Like I heard that people are they are kind of sending them from Australia to New Zealand. And is it New Zealand good for Russians or for immigrants? No, you definitely need a car long term in the US. Yeah, yeah. I know. Even here, in fact, in Turkey, I need a car, and everywhere, the car is needed. I mean, sometimes my legs hurt, and it's hard even like with the kid to make. That's why I bought for him like a bicycle to make him comfortable, to not to uh, make him get tired, and I put like special cable for the bicycle to take him sometimes when he's getting tired or the road is like high, and I just pull him I don't know how to say it, like pull him. Canada is cold much longer than Midwest in US. Okay, nice. It was a nice talk. It was a nice brainstorm. I did my best to to read all the comments. I mean, I don't know. Still, it's kind of just a stream to just compare between English-speaking countries and to know what are like the best of them. So most of people here are from US, so you know more about the US. We don't have maybe a lot of people from UK. That's why we don't. Maybe because of the timing. Because I'm like streaming now, and in the US it's still the day, and in UK maybe it's very late. So, how is like UK with immigrants with Russians? They have a lot of Russians there? Is it easy for them? Is it expensive? Is it cheap? Is it easy to go like for immigrants to immigrate in UK? Australia is difficult to get to. Okay. Canada is called much longer. Okay, I am from New Zealand. Oh, you are from New Zealand. Not many Russians here. I think it takes a long time to get visa approved. I mean, this is also kind of positive thing that there are a lot of Russians in New Zealand. It will be maybe easier for some Russian to go there, like now if they can. Of course, maybe it's expensive, but if they can afford that and they can go, so and they need an English-speaking country, so they can go to New Zealand if it's that welcoming. Because even like I think in Canada and the US, a lot of people are going there, and maybe it's harder to get the visa there or to go there. New Zealand could be easier. Could be easier. And I mean, like I'm comparing that with our situation when we went to Turkey and we knew that there are a lot of Russians here, but we didn't care. So we kind of our own risk on our own risk. We didn't know they were accepting giving residence, and then it went like we rented, and now we have to re-rent it and to sell everything and to go from here and no residence. They changed all the laws here because a lot of Russians came to Turkey. This is the reason, and who knows? Like when like a lot of Russians are going to Australia. Maybe that's why they making it harder for Russians. And a lot of Russians are going to US as well. Maybe they are making it harder for them. Your credit card don't work, right? I have credit card, Turkish credit card. It's working, but I don't know when I will leave, if it will work or not. It's like a Mastercard. It should work, but I don't know. And I need the better one, maybe. I don't know. I used the Turkish one to buy a SIM card. Yeah, like from international. Like I mean, I buy food from it, but I used to bought an international SIM card, and they will deliver it soon because they have a system here. In when you have a SIM card, they will give you 3 months. So depending on your visa or your passport, and your SIM card will be deactivated automatically. They already send me a message that my SIM card will not work right 1 day before the meeting with the immigration department. And I'm afraid that will be an issue because they always use SMS to inform us to do anything. And they have this thing, like, I mean, I feel like dystopia. I mean, like, you can't use it. So, okay, I mean, they ask for foreigner number. To get the foreigner number, I have to get the residence. So if I didn't get the residence yet because my documents aren't ready and I don't have yet the meeting, so how I can do it? I mean, how can I make my SIM card work if I don't have the residence? So to make my SIM card, I have to have the residence. But if I will go to the immigration department and tell them, I mean, I need a number, they will tell me as well, you need to apply for residence. So I mean, I can't, kind of crazy. I think the Midwest is US or East Coast Canada would be best. Google criteria to get into New Zealand or Australia. I know we need workers badly. Cool. New Zealand. Okay, I will Google it. I mean, really, in New Zealand, I'm thinking about New Zealand. It's cool. I am thinking about an English speaking country. If it would be hard for me to go to Canada or US, maybe New Zealand, maybe not UK, but I need to be sure that I will have a work there. Look at multiple entry visa for USA. UK will be easier to enter. Uber is not using a credit card there. Are other options available too? You can also pay Uber with PayPal and Google Pay. By the way, is it easy to open a bank account? I mean, for example, when we went to Dubai, they said they will open me a bank account only if I will have the residence, and it's hard to get the residence there. Here in Turkey, mostly they didn't want to open bank accounts for foreigners, and it was hard. Like I just found one very far bank, and they opened the bank account with deposit. I mean, maybe in US it's. I mean, I wish like you come there and you open the bank account directly. Are they like they having, or in Canada or UK or New Zealand, are they having very strict rules for immigrants to open a bank account? Maybe, I mean, it's necessary. It's something very important to, but make it so hard to open it. I mean, it's not nice. I mean, maybe like you are coming like a tourist. You are entering the country legally, so tourists can open bank account. I mean, I met that in Dubai, and I was like surprised. And even here, it was hard. Like they have a bank. The bank is supposed to be like to welcome any money, so they use. So I want to put your money in your bank, and you tell me you can't open bank account. Crazy. I know Argentina girl who got one work visa, but she work in the fruit orchards for 3 months picking fruit. Then she gets 6-month visa extension. I see. There is hope. Come on and talk to us wherever you can. We may have many more ideas. Are you a teacher as well? Could you teach all subjects in the US? I don't think about. I don't know. I'm not a teacher. I was a translator. I was translating from Russian to Arabic. I know. I am fluent in Arabic and Russian, and this is my English. I know if that would be good for to translate directly. I have experience in translating directly like this. I never heard rules are harder for Russians to get into New Zealand. Okay, it takes a lot of courage to look for opportunity for you and your family. Many Russian men are stuck in Russia or are sent to the special military to the war. It's a tragedy. Yeah, there are Russians living in the UK, though I guess they're mainly in London. Oh, I always like. I mean, I didn't think a lot about why they call it a Russian special operation, military special operation. Maybe they call it like this special. I just have now this idea, like special military operation, to make it easy to like tell them you are going just to special military operation. It's not a war. Why? It's calm down. Don't worry. It's just a special military operation. You will just watch. You will not do anything else. I mean, there are Russians living in the UK, so I guess they had mainly in London. Okay, all driver's license work in USA. Cool. All driver's license. I mean, license. You mean even if you do the license in other country? You speak English very well. Thank you very much for that. I'm still improving. My wife still finds mistakes. She is a very strict English teacher. Please like this video, like this stream. Let's make it popular. Let's make it famous and useful for people who want to move to English-speaking countries. New Zealand extremely multicultural, not so for Australia. They will never exclude a person on their ethnicity. Wow, cool. New Zealand. So viva New Zealand. Like in France, they say viva la France. Obviously, we have many Ukrainians here. I know the Russian used car dealers in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay, easy to open a bank account here in. Just need an ID. It's nice. It's nice. Why Dubai are making it so hard? I don't understand. And even in Turkey, it was like I'm going to the bank. Hello, I want to open a bank account. No, 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 no. We don't open. We don't open. Like the security guy, or sometimes don't let you. And sometimes I had like a life hack. If the security don't let you pass, you should tell him, no, no, no. I just want to ask, like. So he will let you. Otherwise, I mean, if you tell him like I want to open a bank account, he will tell you, no, 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 go away. And when you pass the security that way, like with the life hack, and you go to the manager, they go, okay, I will open the bank account for you. How? I need $2,000 deposit and about $100 commission. And that deposit should be like frozen for 3 months. And so some other banks, they say it like 5,000 deposit. What? Like for 3 months, like a tourist coming, he wanted to open a bank account to make it easier to pay something, and they tell him like you have to freeze your money in our country. What? Maybe I'm a tourist coming for 1 month. I don't know how difficult it would be in the USA to open a bank account. Okay, I can see a problem with bank here in UK once you're here. I hope so. I mean, I hope they will not ask like crazy things. Like you have to prove that you know how to count, or I don't know. In US, no, the bus shuttle take to work takes you home. Okay, bus shuttle. Okay. My account are in a Japanese owned bank. Cool. Canada need professional people for many jobs there. Cool. Yeah, as a translator, I can work in Canada. You are making me confident from my English, because my strict English teacher wife, she tell me that she find a lot of mistakes. But I mean, for this, like to make a business or to translate, and I mean, where I was translating, they don't, I mean, care about the grammar or something. They care about like the negotiation the negotiation process, and how you translate thing. And I mean, if you say it right, say it not. I mean, the most important to get the idea to the other side. In business, they don't care that much about grammar and vocabulary. And as no resident, opening a UK bank account will require a passport, driver's license, but your bank may also request other documents, particularly one that shows your current address. I mean, current address, it's easy. I already had an address in Dubai, for example. But to ask me to put a lot of money for a certain period and freeze it, it's not, I mean, or to not open to me at all, because they say like in Dubai, they said you have a visit visa, you can't open a bank account. The bank account problems you have there, maybe because they are close to the conflict. I don't see any problems for bank accounts for Russians here. Cool. No, they just lie. Lie about what? Exactly, they want to avoid panic. Where informative chat everywhere. The panic of what? I didn't understand. If you live here, you need to get a driver license to drive. I know. I mean, I never drove a car. First of all, I mean, I hope you don't think that I drive cars without license. I don't drive car. I don't have car. I never had a car. Please smash the like button. Subscribe. Yeah, subscribe if you are not. Turkey seems corruption prone to me, not as bad as Russia though. I mean, they have strange rules about tourists here. I mean, like expiring SIM card, you can't call after. I mean, even if you are legal, you are applying for residence. Hard to open a bank account. Like they will tell you one thing in 1 year, and then they will change the mind. They will don't consider people who rented apartment for residence. They will tell them goodbye after they waited for so long. For example, we waited 3 months. We applied already 2 months ago, and we waited for 2 months to go to that meeting. I opened the account when I was 16 with 5 deposit and proof of residence. I see. Of course, like in Russia also, it was like easy to open a bank account. I mean, your English depends on what you are translating. You may need business lingo, etc. Yeah, I need to improve my English, I know. That's why I'm maybe not that, like, I mean, confident to apply for such work. So that was 4 years ago. Okay, I'm mistaken. To open a bank account here, you need 3 forms of ID, like a driver license, passport, and credit card from another bank or social credit card. The state ID work as well. So if you don't have the driver license, they will not open you a bank account. What if you like bicycles? I don't know. You mean like necessary to have a driver license? Now you need a real ID in the US to buy a farmer. You can get a state ID. State ID. Okay. Turkey doesn't have tougher laws than other countries. Many things are actually less bureaucratic there. Yeah, it's cool. Anyway, I mean, it was a very nice stream. Driver license. What? Driver license, not necessary, just 2 form of ID. Okay. Can a Russian citizen still get into US if they have a sponsorship? I think they can. Did just recently change? Anyone know? But sponsorship from I don't know. They can get it only from asylum, or they can get it legally, like with visa, like a tourist visa. They can, for example, let's suppose US. Can they, for example, go like tourist to US, like with tourist visa, and apply for asylum? Is that possible? Why like necessary to go to Mexico or to some border and to cross the border and they will take you to detention center? I mean, why there is not that such option? Because the visa for Russians and for a lot of people is available to buy. You kind of go to the US embassy and they ask you for papers, they ask you for money, and they kind of interview you and they can give you the visa. So in case like someone getting, because most of people are talking about asylum, and asylum like it's like crossing the border and being in the detention center. I mean, I'm not like sure about that. So asylum could be only applicable if you cross the border from Mexico or from other like neighborhood, or you can apply for asylum from another country. Okay. Real ID different than normal. Birth certificate is required. State ID has your residence information. You don't have to have a driver license. Okay, cool. Can't get in Mexico anymore. Yeah, so it's impossible to get it from Mexico, to go from Mexico. But some people, they said that they closed the border in Mexico. Some people say no, they are opening them to immigrants because kind of the elections or something like that, and everybody is welcome in US. I don't understand. Anyway, sometimes we need to go there by ourselves. You need to birth certificate to get the state ID. Okay, closer border from Mexico to US. Maybe only some borders are closed in Mexico, not all of them. Anyway, that was, if you get to US on a visa, you can apply for asylum. Oh, it's good. It's good information. So if you get to US on a visa, you can apply for asylum. It's a good thing. Here's an idea for future stream. How the world sees gun ownership in the US. I don't know. I avoid talking about such, guns, etc. I mean, it could be. I don't know about the guidelines of YouTube. Is it okay to talk about weapons or not? Even to mention the word. Come in from Canada to US. We don't prefer. So it's possible. This is a new thing I knew. Maybe most of Russians are misled, and they think that they can get the asylum only by crossing the border from Mexico or another country. Not only me, maybe is thinking like that way, because it's possible to get a visa and go to apply for asylum. If that's possible, it's maybe a lot of people they will do it. More people will do it. Maybe they don't know. A New Zealand boy was shot, okay, by US personnel. He phone helped push his car from under. Okay. In New Zealand, police don't carry guns. Interesting. Do you have plans to come Mexico? I don't have plans to come to Mexico because Mexico, first of all, they have like expensive ticket to go there, and they ask for return ticket as well. So I think that's it for this stream. You can ask questions if you have. Otherwise, I will just stop. Do you have your birth certificate from Russia? No, I wasn't born in Russia. I was born in Algeria. I have my birth certificate from Algerian embassy in Russia. So I have my Algerian certificate. You would still need a visa or Canada and US. Okay, bye, Just Terry. I think police need lots more training in the US. Can we raise the airfare on Buy Me a Coffee? Airfare? What is airfare? I have a PayPal link in the description. You can support if you want. Google lots of info, like I said, on how immigrate and the steps to take. Send you that line for real. It's real Ukrainians. Okay, cool. Yeah, they have like a new video about that. He needs a green card to get a license, or I need the green card. Okay, plane tickets. Anyway, so with visa I can't apply for the ID. It seems the case, like simple visa, like tourist visa. It's impossible to apply for ID. You mean? Is it possible to apply for this ID if you have a tourist visa? It's something to learn about and to Google. Anyway, you can write the answer in the comments of this video. I'm getting tired from this. It was really very informative, very active stream. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for everything. See you in my next videos and my next streams. I hope to see you in your country someday. I hope we meet. Okay. Bye. Bye, everyone. I see Angie. Goodbye.